Hello everyone, Mark here, Mark's Max Muscle, and as we await the finals of the 2025 Arnold Classic event, I thought we would set up a little comparison between the top two dogs. This is Derek Lunsford and Samson Dauda, and dare I say, before this event, I would say 90% of you fine folks, maybe even more, basically said it was a lock for Samson Dauda to win this one. And I was ridiculed, I was laughed upon, by predicting Derek Lunsford to win. Now, he hasn't won yet. He hasn't won. It's still a battle, so I'm not going to say I told so. I'm not the type of guy to say I told so anyway. But having said that, I think I gained some credibility back by Derek coming in at perhaps his all-time best here. And Samson might be a couple of percentages down from what he was at the Mr. Olympia event. But let's not waste any more time, guys. Let's go through all the shots that I do have now. This is a side-by-side. We do have some clearer shots, but we'll look at both. I think we deserve it. This is obviously the side-by-side. You can see Samson's elbow touching the forearm of one Derek Lunsford. Look at the size of the arms on Samson. Huge. Now, the V-taper midsection, you're definitely going to go with Derek. Size of the legs, Samson. Cuts in those quads, Derek. Overall size, nobody's bigger than Samson Dauda. Now, here's an interesting situation here. They are nice clear shots. And you can definitely see Samson, when he did his individual routine here, he looked better in the midsection. He was sucking that vacuum in. But still, look at Derek Lunsford. Smaller frame. He looks like he's about the same size in that aspect. But man, those arms. And from what we can see from Derek, his legs do look shredded to the dice, but we have Arnold getting in the way. But the strange thing is here, without Arnold, there would be no competition, so we can't get upset at this old fella. Like I said, without him. And he could say that too if anybody told him to sit down. Listen, why don't you sit down? Because without me, there would be no Arnold's Classics. Now let us go to the next pose. Now the front lat spread is where I really noticed. Samson Dauda was not clinching that midsection quite as tight as he was at the Olympia. And I know, it sounds quite disrespectful. Samson Dauda, he is a great champion. Absolutely. But obviously you could see those arms in that front double. They were massive, and they're huge because he's full. Little bit full in the midsection as well. Now Derek is, like full Fiddler's Phil was saying, just saran wrap skin. Look at that. You can see right through it. Midsection tight too. He has improved this front lat spread. Is he doing enough to defeat Samson, one of the better front lat spreads? Well, I don't know. Now go to the Arnold graffitied pictures here. Look at Arnold there. His little beard. Thinks he's Santa Claus. Yes, Samson, very dominant in the lats themselves. And whereas he's not as cut, I don't think he's as thin-skinned and glaciered as Derek. He sure is big, isn't he? So, yes, I did predict Derek Lunsford to win the Arnold Classic. And I was ridiculed, I was laughed upon, and that's okay. But Derek, it's not a lock for him now. And a lot of people are suggesting that. Just because he came in looking awesome, Samson might be down just a small percentage. It's still not an easy win for Derek. That's for darn sure. Turn to the side. And wow. Wowzers. Look at the size of Samson. He was beating Derek anyway, I believe, from the side. And Derek, he's very trim. He's very cut. You know, all the details there. But I'd like to see the big man's chest stick out a little bit more, like he was doing at the Olympia. But overall, it is a very detailed, good package. He was criticized for lack of muscle separation, delts, things of that nature. He looks good, but I mean, my soul. You can only go but so far with it. Samson Dauda is a horse. And of course, a horse is gonna beat a pony. Well, here's the Arnold graffiti picture. He's getting a good one there, zooming in. He's probably thinking, oh, Derek, the side of his leg is very conditioned in every pose. Now, it is basically the same thing here, guys. Derek, as good as he is, I don't want to call him flat-chested, but Samson has a great big man's barrel's chest, and he has improved in the muscle separation in the arm as well. That is a Hostetler, a stud even. Here's a side tricep, and Derek cannot see to swing a punch from the side. There's just no way out of it. From the front, it was close because, Derek is very crisp. But being close in a couple of shots and then being dominated in a couple, I would suggest that Samson Dauda, he still kind of is in the lead. But then, people, you have to realize the judges are so close to these guys. And like I mentioned, Fiddler's Fiddler, he was talking about that thin, paper-thin skin. And if Derek is that much better than Samson, he could win. Now, from the back is where it is a real telling tale on who will place second and who will prevail. Look at these striations in the... Ow! Just pucked my elbow very good on the desk. But anyway, we'll get through this together. 15 years of pro wrestling, that hurt worse than anything. The back development on Samson, it's pretty good. He has nice, thick, lower lat insertions. They reach down nice and low. Derek, maybe not quite as low, but he is very crisp indeed. Not the domination that I expected, though, from the back point of view. Good traps on Derek. Here is the individual, not routines, but it's when they did their mandatory shots. And yes, you can clearly see, guys, Derek is shredded. Samson, he's pretty peeled too. Does not have those grill marks. Again, shout out to Fiddler's Phil. He says the glutes look like grill marks. You can definitely see that for Derek, but look at the adductors. Look at the dugout hamstrings. Looks like an excavator came along and went and dug a big chunk of meat out of those hamstrings, and it creates a lot of dominance for Samson in that aspect. But still, here's the rear double by. Again, I have to give Samson credit. His lower lat insertions, very thick, filled out for sure. Derek has a nice little Christmas tree area. Pretty peeled in that aspect, I would suggest. Lower half. Derek, I don't think he's been this shredded. Well, maybe. He was pretty shredded in 2023, the Olympia. But this is a good overall package. Size, dryness, fullness. It's pretty good. Here is the individual ones, and yes, guys, Samson, when he came out to do his individuals, he looked bigger, he looked huge, he looked ready. Look, he even has some glutes there, you can see. I detect a couple of striations. But when you look at Derek, wow, for what you can see, some fellow with a camera there too. He's just trying to get Arnold, I think. So that's pretty funny. You're covering up Arnold's excellent beard, though. For goodness sakes. You know what it is. Arnold, he just, I want to be in a Max Muscle video, and I know he'll use this pose for Derek Lunsford's. So that's what it is. Here's the abs and thigh. Oh, shoot. I meant to do a both arms Louis thing for the rear double by. Maybe next time. The abs and thigh. Derek? Is Derek winning this abs and thigh? Am I crazy? On paper, you would, in fact, be a complete lunatic for saying that Derek is beating Samson in the abs and thigh. But when you put them side by side, geez Louise, I'll be darned. Here's the individuals. Samson, again, I have to say, when he came out, he was all pumped up. He was able to flex those abs a little bit better. Now here he may catch Derek. Not much separation for Derek. More in Samson's aspect. But that V-taper of Derek, unbeatable. Both arms, you little bastard. Come on, Louis. G-Dot, he big. Wow, 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 wow. Most muscular. And Samson, speaking of big dude all the way, big dude. Wow, 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 wow. He sure does big. He does big. He is big. Look at the size of him. Derek, he is wide though, guys. And I noticed, Derek, he veered away from that crab position. Smooth move, X-Lax. A great move. Not doing that. But at the end of the day, guys, bigger is always better when all things are equal. And here is a hands clasped of each. The arms being full, it helps with certain poses like this. Look at the size and fullness of the wheels as well. Derek may be cut in that aspect, but the fullness of Samson, I honestly think, guys, if he can maybe trim up the midsection, and that's possible. I mentioned X-Lax there. Put it to practice. So it is not a cakewalk for Derek. The entire net is going crazy. Even Mark's Max Muscle put it in the thumbnail. Is Derek going to upset Samson? Well, it is a whole lot closer than most people think. If Samson maintains, if he doesn't show a little bit of improvement, what have you, keep the midsection a little bit tighter, and keep that fullness like he has. And Derek, if he stays the same, I honestly think Samson can win, but I originally predicted Derek Lunsford to win, so I'll still maintain that prediction. If Samson stays the same, Derek comes in today, little bit fuller. We don't even need to be any drier. He's popcorn fart from behind. Comes in a little fuller. He will be the Arnold Classics Billy Command champion. And predictions are predictions. You can't predict after you've seen the outcomes and then predict. So, like I said, Lawcaw said, gonna maintain. Derek Lunsford could walk away with the title. I gotta be honest though. I'm a little surprised. And I can almost bet a lot of you folks, to be honest, was surprised, Diane. Let me know in the comment section below who will walk away with the trophy, the most money, Derek or Samson. Nobody else is even close, let's face it. And that will do it for this one. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already. I will definitely let you know. I will do perhaps a complete wrap-up, the classic physique. I'm sure you guys know who won by now. But I'll do a complete wrap-up, all the placings of the open and the classic. Have a great one, guys.